Hello everybody, this is Tim with TD Sports Cards. Today we're going to open a second box of 1987 Topps Traded Tiffany. It's a pretty cool box. You can find them roughly for about like 50 bucks or so. I got this one on eBay, I got the other one on eBay, and actually was happy with it. This is from another seller which had good ratings and all that other good stuff. But the box had good corners, still sealed, and it's got it is purple. The maroon ones are the ones that are resealed. But it's a box in great shape. So I like the pics on it. Obviously, you never know when you order it through eBay or whatever, but we're gonna see if I can get that the Maddux out of here. See if it's a possibility of getting a PSA 10. Let alone the other stars and some of the other rookies and so on that's in here. So let's I guess rip into it and see what we get. But yeah, this is a great set. Tiffany sets are awesome. There's more value in them. That's why they typically cost more, obviously a lot more than a regular traded set. But like I said, you get the Maddux, which is the key one in this. It's $200+ if you can get a 10. So even a 9 version pretty much pays for the box. So let alone the rest of the cards. So it's a good deal. So let's get into it and see what we can do. The main thing for me is I'm looking for PSA candidates. I'm looking at the centering. That's the main thing. And right here's the hard part, so don't mess up the corners. Alright, so it all looks good there. I like that. Corners look sharp just from first notice. So let's pull them all out of here. Alright. So there they are. There's the stack. And that is the box. Alright, so let's go through these. I'm going to look for the main stars, and I'm just going to look for the centering and so on also. So let's put these over here to begin with. Let's go a little stack at a time here. The cards are very crisp. I like it. What I'm looking for is the centering. It's like that one there, top to bottom is good, left to right is a little bit off. And he's an average player, so I'd put that to the side. If it was more of a star player or a key rookie or one of the key rookies or semi-keys, then I would definitely grade it. This one, what I like about this already is that the centering top to bottom is good. If the centering top to bottom is good, then I like the chances of it this being a great box. Here's one of the rookies. Top to bottom is good. It's off left to right, so that'd be probably just first instinct would be a 9. But I do like it that the top to bottom is pretty good. It's like that one, top to bottom is good. This is pretty good. Now if I can just get them centered left to right. That one's a little bit off left to right. Like I said, top to bottom is awesome. So if we can get a run of them where they're centered. There's a Reggie. That one's close. It's just a hair off. Maybe 60-40 left to right. But that one's a good candidate. So that one we will be probably sending in. That one is a good candidate. Alright, let's see what else we got here. Salazar, yeah, it was left to right. Al Newman. That's pretty close, so I'm going to put that over here. Now if you notice in my last box, see, that one's pretty close also. Top to bottom is awesome. I had some that were off top to bottom, some that were off left to right. That makes it a hard box, but this one here, I mean, you can just look through. The centering top to bottom on these are awesome. So it's just getting them right amount of left to right. And out of this box, besides the Maddux and some of the other rookies, even if you get a, say a 10, say on this Jim Sunbird card, there's a lot of collectors out there that collect the graded sets. So if you can get a 10 on this, you know, that's a $20, $25 card. Just because it is hard during this time because of the way it was, the cutting was, and the setup back then. So we're looking at this one. That one's close also. There's gonna be a lot of candidates out of this. So if I take a chance, send in say 10 of the smaller name players, and get say 6 or 7 10s, that's an awesome deal. So that one's more left to right. Gene Olsen, that one's more left to right. Brad Havens, that's left to right. But I do like the top to bottom. Top to bottom is money. Tony Pena, it's a name. That's a left to right, that's a 9. Let's go and put that over there. Danny Gladden, that one's left to right. Brian Fisher, that one is left to right. Still like top to bottom. Alright. Lance Parrish. Same thing, that one's pretty dang close. So that's going to be a candidate. Gary Reedus. That one's damn near spot on. Jeff Reardon. Left or right? You see top to bottom just by doing that. See, that's off a little bit top to bottom. I'll put that in that stack for right now. Chuck Grimm. That one's left to right. I like that it's pretty close though. Matt Williams. A little bit top to bottom, but that's a good candidate though. Alright, let's go to the next stack here. Eric Bell, left to right for sure. Jeff Calhoun, left to right for sure. Terry Harper, left to right for sure. Alan Wiggins, left to right. So right now we're in a run where it's too far left to right. Dennis Eck, I like the top to bottom. Just off left to right, so that's probably a 9. Seitzer, top to bottom looks good, but the left to right. Yeah, I'm gonna put that right here for right now. Leach, left to right. Alright. The Hawk, Andre Dawson, that one's left to right. That's probably a 9. Yeah, see, top to bottom looks good. But left to right. And even in a 9, I think that might even go for like 13 once it's graded, so it's a possibility. That one's left to right. If we can get a run where they're on the money, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, see that one top to bottom's good. That one actually looks pretty good. I'll put that over there. That one looks good. left to right. Just a hair, but it's could be passable. And they'll give you some of the lower names. So this one's left to right and top to bottom. So it's definitely not a candidate. Marsalis, left to right and top to bottom. Joe Negro, left to right and top to bottom. It's Hall of Famer, so that one there you'd be hoping to get like an 8 on. And an 8. Probably don't think it's worth the grading. I'm just going to put it there because Hall of Famer. Shelby, left to right and top to bottom. See, right now we're into that little stint where the top to bottom is off. Left to right, top to bottom. Left to right, top to bottom. It's close. Still off, but it's close. Now these are the first things I look for. Then I'll go back through and see if there's any print dots, because that'll be like a -2. How I grade this is -1 top to bottom, -1 left to right. Then I'll go -2 for print dots, and then you got to go back and look at your corners at that point, because at that point your corners are the handling, but the manufacturing part is what they do mark down from if they're off center and so on. So I look for the manufacturing first before I do the before I look at the corners and everything. All right, left to right is off. Top to bottom's off. So that one goes there. Except we're looking for the Maddux. That's 40. That's 131. See, some years they're all together, and some years they aren't. As far as collated, right? Gonte, that's off and off. Matt Young is off, and pretty close. But he was an average. It's a common card, so it's got to be on. John Mitchell, it's off. That one looks pretty close. Pretty close. So that one I'll stick over here. That one's off and off top to bottom. Alright, that one's off and off. And that one is, yeah, Carlton. So I'll put them in this stack. Some of these I'll hang on to long-term wise. Maybe eventually the values will go up where the 8's worth being graded. So you just take care of them. I'll put them in a top loader and let them sit. So that one's off and off. But see what happens. Gearboard, it's off. And that one's off. Off left to right and off top to bottom. Alright, this is the key card. So this one looks off left to right and top to bottom. So this one might end up being an 8. Outside shot at a 9, but most likely an 8. So with that being said, what I need is some of these other semi-stars to come into play. Because I think this in an 8's maybe $20 or something like that. So luckily I got enough common cards where maybe eventually I'll get the money back for everything, unless I get one of the other rookie cards that come through where it's a 10 or something like that. And then some of those are worth 30, 40, 50 bucks. So alright, that one's off. Steinbach's rookie. Said in the last video that I can't remember if it was a rookie, but it says rookie. That one's off. We'll put that to the side. Wally, it's off a little bit left to right, top to bottom, just a little bit off, but It's common, so it goes there. Boom, boom, boom. Left to right is off. Top to bottom is pretty dang close, but not good enough to send in for a chance at a 10. Off, 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 off. Alright, here's one of my favorite players. Just like the max, it's off center there and off center. So that's best is an 8. Well, Bryant, top to bottom is off, left to right is off. Ted Gosley, same thing, both are off. Gary Roenick, both are off. Reed Nichols, both are off. See, now we got lucky at the beginning and got some where the top and bottom was on. Alright, this one's off left to right and top to bottom. Van Slyke, good player though. I said that in my last video, I think. Off and off. Off and off. Frank Williams is off and off. Matt Noakes rookie, like this in a 10 goes for like 35, 40 bucks. Not bad left to right. Not bad top to bottom. So that's actually a shot. That one was just off. Left to right, too bad. Gerhardt, off, and it's pretty close, but still off. Left to right. Neil Heaton, it's off. Stan Jefferson is off. Like I said, the commons, the centering's got to be there, let alone top to bottom. Alright, here's Ellis Burks. And this is his rookie. This one's off left to right. Pretty spot on top to bottom. So that one I'll have to look. I can't remember if 9 brings in some value on Burks or not. If it does, I'm sure it's only like a $13 or $15 card once it's graded. But it gets some money back for the box. So let's see. That's off. That was close, but it's too far off left to right. Barry Lines, off left to right. Rick Cerrone, off left to right. Top to bottom's back where it should be. Tom Troublehorn, left to right is too far off. John Smiley rookie. Left to right is off. It's probably like a 60-40 or something. Top to bottom is on. I think that's the same as the last one, where I can get a 9 out of it, but that's probably the best I can get out of it. Ray Knight, top to bottom is good, but left to right is off. Ron Say, left to right and top to bottom. Left to right and top to bottom for Behringer. Shane Mack, rookie. Left to right is off. Top to bottom is there. That's best is on that one is a 9. Alright. Jerry Royster. Nope. And we got Chris Spire, off left to right. Dave Schmidt. That was left to right, just a little bit off. Yeah, that one probably will come back a 9 no matter which way I try to send it in. Left to right, off, top to bottom. Because I like this box, the top to bottom is good. You don't have to worry too much about it. We had that one little grouping, but other than that, it's pretty much on, top to bottom. Mike Stanley played for a long time. Off left to right, probably about 60-40. Chris James. That one's off. Joe Johnson, that's off. Jeff Robinson is off. Terry Kennedy is off. Jeff Reed. Louis Polonia rookie. See, top to bottom looks pretty good, but left to right is off. So the best of that one's a 9. I think at a 9 it's like 10, 12 bucks. So that one's probably not worth sending in right now. Maybe if the set goes up in value, then that's where those can come in. You can try pushing for that $13, $14, $15 for some of these 9s. But I think in a 10, yeah, Polonia is probably maybe 25 or something like that. Overhaul, left to right. Benito Santiago. Great arm, defense catcher. Top to bottom's there, just left to right. Yeah. Now guarantee if you buy one box and all these are spot on, it was set up that way. This era was known to have off-center cards, so you just got to get the right batch within the box that I was off to left to right just a little bit. You gotta get the right batch inside the box that has the key cards or a good run of keys or semi-keys in order to grab the 10s. See, that one's off left to right. So that one's kind of close enough, but you know, for 10 bucks, I'm not gonna take the shot. Rick Reynolds is really off. For 10 bucks, I'm not gonna take the shot for you know, nothing personal for the player, but like a no name that, because if it comes back as a 9 for a no name, yeah, you're lucky to sell it for 5 bucks. Terry Francona, that one's off, obviously. Coach Martinez, that one is off and off. Les Straker, that is off. Jerry Brown, that one's off. Juan Beniquez, that one is off. Greg Booker, that one's another one. There's a lot of 60-40 in this. If it was just a hair better, you could take better chances, or take a few chances on some of these. But it's still got a good stack of possibilities. That one's off center. There's rookie Doug Drabek. See, this one actually has that one's got a shot. Still 60-40, but it looks so much better than the other ones. So I'll stick that over here in this stack. Some of these cards just pop out better because of the coloring. That one, you know, is off. That's his rookie. And I'm gonna stick in that. That'll be a long-term hold. You had a lot of saves. You never know about the senior committee 15 years from now. Charles Hudson is off. Calderon is off. Deion James is off. And another one 60-40, but it's also off top to bottom. Yep, that was off. Left to right is off. Danny Jackson. I like Danny Jackson. He actually had a pretty good career. Is he a Hall of Famer? He's one of those very good guys that just might not get in. Yes, that one's off. About 60-40. Actually on top to bottom a little bit too. Alright. Let's see. Jim Gott. Ripken Sr. That one's off. Still going to put him over there. Casey Candell. That one's off center. Roden. Bill Madlock is off center. Eddie Milner off center. Jack Luzardo off center. Larry Boa. Yep, top to bottom, left to right. Bill Wilkinson. Left, top to bottom's good, but left to right it's still 60-40. Rick Dempsey. That one's off. Mike Kingery. And yeah, that one's too far off. Even the checklist. Another way to check on the Tiffany's, if you really want to get detailed, is they actually centered it, the printing right. So you can also go back and check the back. There's some sets you can't do that, like the regular tops you can't do that with. But the Tiffany's, they took a little more care with centering the back with the front. So, as an example, trying to get the McGriff. Alright, so the McGriff window is top to bottom looks on. Left to right we know it's a little bit off. So we're going left to right. But on the back, it looks, you can still see a little bit left to right. And that's just enough because that makes that 60-40. So, like I said, the best on that was probably a 9. But we got the Ripken Senior. Like I said, that one's just a long term. Henneman will be a long term. Drebeck actually has a possibility. So that one might be going in. Shane Mack. Just a good rookie. Let me put my grip over here. John Smiley. Left to right. That one I'll have to think about. Burke, same thing. That one's probably a little more long term. Noakes looks good even though it's a little bit left to right. Yeah, so Noakes might be a possibility. Cone, too far left to right. That'll be long term. Steinbach, long term. Left to right, top to bottom, that's just long term. Carlton's long term. This one's pretty dang close, so that one might be a good possibility. Left to right is off. Top to bottom is on. So I'll have to look see if a 9 does anything. This one's top to bottom is off. That's just long term. Alright, this one is off left to right. It is off top to bottom, so I'm going to put that back in that stack. See, it's good when you go through this a couple times, you see the difference compared to your first look and your second look. You do notice some stuff. So that one left to right is pretty on. Top to bottom, I could slide through. Maybe. Left to right's a little bit off. Top to bottom is on. So that'd be for the 9, but I think the 9 has value. It's Eck. Can't remember on that one. I think a 9 is below the value. Matt Williams looks good that way. And that way, so that's got a shot. Gary Reedus, yeah, left to right. Top to bottom. Alright, so he can go back in there. This one's left to right. Parrish, I'll stick over there. Pena goes over there. Sunberg's got, this one's got a shot. Still the same thing, a little bit top to bottom. So I have to really look at that again and try to compare with some of the other stuff that's graded. Left to right looks good. Same thing, just a little bit top to bottom. I'll have to compare. If not, there's, like I said, there's about 3 in there that I'll end up pulling out. And Al Newman, left to right. Yeah. Alright, that goes back. So we got this stack after going through it twice. We got the Reggie. That I know in a 9 for the Reggie, it's got value. So I don't think that'll get a 10, but it has a good shot at a 9. And we got the Maddux, which is off left to right and off top to bottom. So this one's probably going to come back as an 8, which will be probably about 20-25 bucks maybe. Because the 10's like going for about 210. I like to say the 9s are about 75, and I think the 8s are about that $20 range or so, or whatever. So just gotta hope Reggie comes back good, and a couple of these other ones come back good, and then I'll be fine. But that's part of how I grade. That's what I do when I go through boxes. So if you do the same, that will help your grades out long-term wise. And you got to think of it as, it doesn't matter who the player is to the most part. It's how the card is, because there's still value in a no-name 10 for these sets. And if you know anything about the 87 sets, they're so hard. Think of how many 9s are out there and how many 8s are out there. They're so hard to grade because they're misleading. Because a lot of people forget the top and bottom. So like I said, I also have to compare these to some of the other 10s and then the 9s out there. But you never know, because they could give you a little bit one way or the other. You just gotta do the best you can and weigh your risk reward. But look out for other videos. I'm gonna look for Jordan, and in my next box I might do that today also. Because I don't know, I bought a big batch of them, so I think I might just go through and see if I can't pull one. It's the 91 Upper Deck. And see if you can't find Jordan 10 playing baseball. Alright, but thanks everybody for watching. Please